Radical.
A couple days ago, I had an upload titled something along the lines of Bad Bunny is a terrible choice for the Super Bowl halftime show, or rather he just sucks as a Super Bowl halftime choice, and I outlined and went over the reasons why that was. The main reason being, of course, that this is the NFL American Super Bowl, a place here in America where the predominant language is actually English, believe it or not. People in America predominantly speak English. It is our native tongue. Now, some people might debate that, but no, English is what's predominantly spoken in America. And if you whittle that down to Super Bowl, you think about the audience for the Super Bowl. I know, don't they air it globally, but historically the audience of the Super Bowl has been, here in America. New England, San Francisco, Chicago. The football teams are all American football teams. So I thought it'd be a terrible idea for this Bad Bunny character to have an all Spanish singing, rapping Super Bowl. And I thought it would be terrible. I watched it. Gonna get my thoughts, but spoiler alert, actually is bad or even worse than I even had imagined it would be. And I didn't go into it with an idea that I was going to hate it. So any of you saying that I'm a person that there's a claim by a lot of people out there. I think even The View, those older women on that show, The View said something along the lines, if you don't like this show, if you can't enjoy this show, then you're racist. And even Skip and Shannon, not Skip and Shannon, but Shannon Sharp and Ocho from the Nightcap Show had some upload, I forget what the title was, calling out the racist and everything. So there's an aspect of this that people are choosing to focus on. There's a lot here I could really go into. A lot of things conversationally that could branch off from this. There's people talking about ICE and MAGA and Trump and all that kind of stuff. And I just want to keep it narrow directly to reviewing the halftime show from what I gathered. There was an actual other show, a competing show I'll briefly touch upon, though, that I didn't see. There's not a YouTube upload of it. I guess it was a stream where it was Kid Rock and some of his friends, and it was more touted as the All-American Super Bowl halftime alternative. But I hear it wasn't that great, and Kid Rock did some lip-syncing there, so that's a shame. But I don't think it was ever going to reach the level because of the production, the money that's put behind a Super Bowl halftime show. And you could have a situation where you could have a shit performer and still it can come out passable because of all the money that is poured into something like a Super Bowl halftime show. But yeah, I just wanted to briefly touch upon the fact that the Kid Rock show apparently wasn't that great. But of the two, I would much rather check in the Kid Rock show because that shit was in my language. I don't speak Spanish, all right? So right there's the big main problem. Also, many people are leaving before I get into my quick review of the performance, a lot of people are talking about how if you switch the shoe on the other foot, let's say you take a huge soccer performance, a huge soccer game, and there's a halftime type performance there, and you send over Taylor Swift or something, and she doesn't speak Spanish or the native language, they would be pissed. I mean, the spectacle like a Taylor Swift. When it compares to Taylor Swift, some people might say, oh, Bad Bunny's even bigger star internationally than Taylor Swift. But that's the point. If you have any American type performer, it's not their language. So they're going to be scratching their head like, well, we can't even sing along. Is there something on the screen where we can sing along to the song? But this performance, man, where do I begin? Let's talk about the positive points first. Get those out of the way. There were some fine-ass female dancers. Oh my goodness. They look good. So the choice and selection for the female dancers was very good. Looking at all those gyrating female badunkadunks kind of helped to take your ears away from what was a very lackluster rapping / singing performance, or whatever you call it. I just tried to focus on the booties. And I guess for what it was, he performed his songs like they should be performed. But again, I had tried to hit closed caption and say, well, maybe at least the NFL will try to do something on the closed captionings through the YouTube or some shit where I could even understand what he's saying. I understand that they don't do it live, but okay, I'm thinking, a day later, maybe they'll just help me out who speaks English. But no, actually, just fuck you, Rick. Fuck anybody that speaks English and hasn't learned a whole new language just to enjoy a fucking Super Bowl halftime show. So I think, all right, maybe I'm not enjoying this because I don't speak the language. I don't know the words. I thought that for a second. But then Lady Gaga came on. And I've been critical of Lady Gaga, her being in a halftime show. Oh my goodness, years back, that makes a lot more sense than this. And she has some hit American songs. She earned her spot. I mean, maybe not the perfect fit for a Super Bowl, but Lady Gaga, damn it, she deserves, with her catalog of hits. Yeah. She had a pretty good performance. Much better than I even thought it would be. So yeah, Lady Gaga, not my type of music, but still, she deserved to be there. Considering how big of a star she is, how many albums she sold. Yeah, all right, right? Her, Taylor Swift, not my favorite kind of music, but that would make sense. So she was one of two people that helped save this halftime show, even though she was not there that long. There was another person, an older yet still sharp-looking Ricky Martin. I live in La Vida Loca. He didn't sing Live in La Vida Loca. In fact, I don't know exactly what song that he sung. But he sang. He is actually a very good damn singer. He can sing. And at this moment in time, I even left a comment here. What did I leave the comment on the video? Saying something like, along the lines of, this show was saved. Bad Bunny has less than 1% of the talent of Ricky Martin and Lady Gaga, and they helped save this show. There's such a sharp contrast. I don't care if you like Bad Bunny. I don't care if you're in the Bad Bunny fan club. I don't give a shit, all right? I don't care if you're on the Bad Bunny bandwagon. I don't care if you like wearing dresses too. I don't care if you're into his stuff for whatever reason. There's not one single person out there, I'd like to see them, that's going to say that Bad Bunny is more talented, a better singer than Lady Gaga or Ricky Martin. They got some pipes, all right? They got some pipes on them. They can sing, they can wail, they can do it. Bad Bunny did not show any of those pipes in his singing. Also, when it comes to rapping, I didn't particularly love Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Super Bowl last year. A lot of people say, well, he kind of mumbled a little bit. I didn't understand what he was saying. Those people that were critical of Kendrick Lamar, man, come on now. This guy just seems so fucking generic, dude. Generic. That's the thing that you can't be as a international superstar. So I think, all right, what's this guy's appeal? He's, I suppose, a stereotypical type, handsome type person. Maybe he makes the females' coochies a little moist, even when he's wearing his dresses. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe that's the appeal. It has to be something beyond the lines of his actual talent. I don't know if he really displayed any dance moves I didn't see a lot of dancing. So it seems like he's just a person that has that aura, I guess, is the word a lot of people use. He has an aura around him. So maybe I'm missing a whole lot. I might get some people leaving long comments. You don't understand. Let me tell you this and this and this. But in defense of Bad Bunny, all these people that have left responses to all the social media posts saying that his music sucks, he sucks, he's just a weird freak, wearing the dresses. All those people seem to be just pointing to not the natural talent of the person, but they're pointing to all of his streaming numbers. The fact he has all these views and all these numbers. Now, where have we seen this shit before? We see this right here on YouTube. When you're critical of somebody, I've been critical of several people that have lots of views and lots of subscribers. And I can make some damn good points when I'm critical of these people. Talking about their lack of talent, questioning why the hell is Logan and Jake Paul? Why is Logan and Jake Paul? Why the hell do they have so many views? What, this person, what's going on? Why are they so beloved? There's nothing special about this guy. And people will say, you're just a jealous hater because you don't have those views. I look at things as more of a term of talent, right? And I got to tell you, there's never been a Super Bowl halftime show, where I've just questioned openly the reasoning why to put this he just seems generic to me. I mean, is this where we're at in popular music right now? There was no one else available. And this guy won a fucking Grammy. Are you shitting me? These were, at least Kendrick Lamar had some hit songs, like the Drake diss that you were looking forward to. What made the crowd go wild? What were the hit songs by old Bugs Bunny here? They could have played the Looney Tunes theme, and that would have been something the crowd might have, roared in applause to. Because they know that song. None of these songs were playing on American radio. None of these songs. So I'm wondering, what is the deal with this? Why is he getting so many views? But then I remember, well, a lot of times views has absolutely fucking nothing to do, like on YouTube clickbait. Views have nothing to do with the actual context and the quality of something. And some people just hate watch. This apparently, maybe I'm burying a big lead story, is this apparently, sadly, view-wise, is the most viewed Super Bowl halftime show of all time. As I say that, I almost kind of throw up in my mouth a little bit, because I think about the amazing performances from Michael Jackson, Prince. Oh my God, Prince is probably the best performance ever. Amazing one. And I wonder, when they count views, do they count actual watching the television and the views on YouTube and streaming and all this kind of stuff? Well, then that leaves a lot of these artists like Michael Jackson from decades ago at a disadvantage. Some people also say, well, there's more people on the earth now. So it's a very sad day that this was chosen not only as a Super Bowl performance here in America, where you're almost torturing people that want to enjoy a halftime show. I mean, I'm not going to say so far as it's torture, because for me, like I said, some of the sets were interesting, maybe a little different than what they did usually. They did put some money behind it. I will rephrase this. I don't think it's the worst Super Bowl halftime show of all time, but he is the worst performer I have seen to headline a Super Bowl performance. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So, again, the female dancers, great. 10 out of 10 on the twerking. Some of the sets, interesting. The bit where, some people got married, I believe, some of this was well done. but he was the worst part of it. Right? So everything that took you away from it, the Ricky Martin, the Lady Gaga, the twerking dancers, some of the sets, the fact that two people I think actually got married. I saw Pedro Pascal. Wrapping things up, one big positive of this performance was fears were put to bed of him coming out in a dress of any kind. So yeah, I didn't have a dress, didn't have a purse, didn't have a frilly hat, wasn't wearing a thong, wasn't flashing a tramp stamp. So no cross-dressing at all. He actually was dressed kind of manly. He dressed in white, looked like white overalls and then a football shirt over, but everything was white. And it actually looked like he was there to do some yard work and maybe trim the hedges or do some pruning or something like that. So maybe there's a hidden meaning behind that, possibly. They seem to try to tell a story. I did notice that. But it's hard to tell a story if nobody's speaking fucking English, except Lady Gaga and, well, Ricky Martin. I don't even think he spoke English either. But I didn't mind with Ricky Martin. Just to point this out here, I think it was more or less the lack of talent that Bad Bunny had. That was the biggest issue of this halftime show. Because there have been performances, I think Shakira had a performance to where she was speaking a little bit of Spanish and a little bit of English and everything. So if the talent is there, that can sometimes make up for the lack of English. And when I was listening to Ricky Martin, not my favorite performer of all time, of course, that's not the kind of music I really listen to. But it was such a breath of fresh air to hear a good singer after whatever Bad Bunny was doing. I would be like, okay, if the rest of this is just him speaking Spanish, him singing Spanish, I that's okay. Not bad. But yeah, big positive. He was not wearing a dress. He was holding a football. I may not have a follow-up talk about the actual Super Bowl itself. It was utterly forgettable from what I saw. People were joking that him with the football, he actually had more yards than the Patriots after the first half. Yeah, it was like 9-0, something like that. Yeah, so I will say, I'll finish this off talking about the message. A lot of people are pointing to it of hope, unity, all kind of stuff. Talking about all the positivity. There was a big banner in the back saying, the only thing stronger than hate is love. Okay, well, I will tell you, I legitimately hate Bad Bunny as a Super Bowl performer. As a person, I don't know much about him. It might be some good qualities to the guy. I don't know. Like I said, I go into this knowing that Bad Bunny has crap music from what I've heard and is not going to sing in English. Okay? But let me just finish off by calling into question that unity that people are pointing to. How this is such a unifying figure. All right, let's go over some lyrics. And please, a lot of you, any of you that are Bugs Bunny fans, correct me if I'm wrong here. And maybe this wasn't one of the songs that was rapped or sung at the show. I'm not looking up these lyrics to do the translation to look up this shit because whatever. But Kevin Burns left a post to somebody. It's just a random person, Kevin Burns, leaving a post to somebody saying, hey, okay, what is it? Gloria Gonzalez said, I'm definitely sure everyone was watching it. Young and old, rich or poor, he had messages for everyone in the world as an individual. Believe in yourself and love one another, right? All this horse shit. Like it was a performance transcending the ages, right? And Kevin says, the message of unity people proclaim from Bad Bunny, how about listening to the lyrics from one of these songs? And this is lyrics from this unifying figure that has this message of love and unity that everyone could gather around. And Damn, how insane. You have a nice ass. Whatever you put on looks amazing. Move it, move it, move it, move it. How insane. You have a nice ass. Whatever you put on looks amazing. Move it, move it, move it, move it. What a lack of respect, mommy. How dare you come to me without panties? Okay, I'll leave it there. So, he gets more graphic, right? So I'm wondering, what part of, and you came ready to suck my lollipop, exactly what part of that is the message of fucking you? So ultimately, just a very generic performance. And the most shocking part of the whole performance to me was the fact I was waiting around to hear at least one hit song. Because I'm under the assumption, if you're at the Super Bowl, you're going to bring your best songs. The performance was 13 minutes. Taking out the couple minutes from Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin, it's a good 10 minutes where there's going to be some hits. There's no hits. Maybe it's just because it's a different type of music. But to me, I was trying hard. To just go back. Okay, let's go back to that. Does that sound like a hit song? Maybe the final song that he sung/rapped was one of his hits? But this guy won a Grammy. A fucking Grammy. And not one of these songs will I ever remember the beat to. Compare that to Prince, Michael Jackson, even Lady Gaga. You know some of their songs. But utterly, utterly forgettable. So many people just pointing to the fact it's got so many views and such a unifying message, like I said. But the easiest way to criticize this is it's just incredibly bland, generic, and it seems like they had an absolute nobody, talent-wise, performing on one of the biggest stages an entertainer can perform on.